In this week's episode of
The Ins and Outs podcast.
Your opinion's wrong.
I just want to be equal in this stuff, and I want a girl to be the leader, and I be the leader at the same time.
That is why they call you a beta.
Why? Because I don't want to dominate some woman.
You want to be dominated?
I didn't say that.
That is like
Inherently what you're saying.
Yeah.
That is literally because you're saying, "Oh, I'm a beta because I don't want to be I don't want to lead. I don't want to dominate a woman." But you want to be led, and therefore you want the woman to dominate you.
I don't know, guys.
We know.
We
do know for you.
We do know.
I don't know if I want to be dominated, but I just want it to be equal.
You want equal, but you don't want to do anything.
No, I'm fine with doing it.
You're fine with doing it, but you don't want to do it.
No, I'm fine with doing it, and I do want to do it, but only to a point.
Enjoy the episode.
Jeez, Spellman, that was an episode for sure.
It was a crazy one.
There was a lot of stuff in there that, looking back, I don't know if I want it to be revealed, but we're saying whatever. We're posting it.
It's out there. You guys got to listen to it.
There's some stuff in there. We talk about dominating. We talk about being dominated. I talk about my take. It's crazy, dude.
Yep. Piper did a great job.
Piper did. That was an insane episode, and you guys have to watch it because you might look at me different, but it's pretty damn funny.
It is.
Enjoy it, guys.
Enjoy it.
Episode 12, Ins and Outs podcast. I'm Cole Brown.
I'm Matthew Spellman.
Today we're here with
Piper.
Piper's here, dude.
She's here.
The thing is about this guest is that you have never talked to her before.
Nope.
Not once. This is the thing that might be a little odd, but, it's okay.
It's okay.
We're rolling with it.
We are.
Piper, we start off every episode like this, so you got to continue the tradition. Can you tell the audience how you know me and Matthew? It can be really, really brief.
Cole, I think the first time I even knew of your existence was I think freshman year when some of my friends were talking about, oh, there's a new guy or something, and we hung out with him at a baseball game or something. I was like, okay. And then I remember everyone sending your Instagram around and sending pictures in the group chats. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, new person.
That too.
I was very popular back then.
You were.
I was liked by the people.
You were at your peak.
I was at my peak. Ever since then, I've been on the downfall. How do you know Matthew, or how do you hear about him? Or do you not know him at all?
I've never spoken to him, but I've kind of always known of him, but never words.
Have you lived here your entire life, or?
Not really, but I've been here for a while.
Mm-hmm. Spellman, do you have any how do you feel like you came to know Piper? Just because she's in the community, or what?
Yeah, I mean, just like how you know of anyone else that you never talked to.
Yeah. Why do you guys feel like you guys never talked? Is there some weird beef going on here?
No, we just never crossed paths.
It's a small town, though.
We weren't in the same circle, though.
Yeah, Piper's got a unique circle. That's one of the things I was gonna first talk about. Is Piper? You have a crazy aesthetic compared to a lot of people who live in our county. If you don't know, Tillamook County is pretty. I don't know would say redneck, or I would say more like rural.
It's rural.
It's rural. So having Piper come out here just the way she does, Hello Kitty, black, kind of, I don't know if I'd say goth aesthetic, but you know what I'm saying. Just where did you get the inspiration to dress like that come from? Is there any specific place or no?
There kind of is, but it's been a very gradual thing. I've definitely had to work up to the amount that I'm at now. But I think initially, my freshman year, what really set it for me, I was like, this is what I want to be, was I was into anime, and this one specific anime, Death Note, I was like, oh my god, I found a character that I like, she's so me, and it was Miss Misa, and I was like, I need to be this exact character. And I kind of was obsessed with the whole idea. I was on Pinterest, Misa aesthetic, and I cut my hair, bleached it, got bangs, and I was like, I'm literally her.
You had inspiration from a anime source. Yep. Spellman, have you ever watched anime before?
I haven't.
Me neither.
That's what I was gonna ask of you.
I don't think I've ever watched anime. I think if you consider like the Avatar, like those ones anime, I guess so. But
I feel like that's. Wait, is that anime?
I'm not really an anime expert. I'm not really the person to ask, but I think any animated thing is anime, but it's not. But
yeah, I think that there's like a specific kind of like a style to it.
Yeah.
It's got to be some stuff. I know there's a lot of people who are into anime, but I've just never had the time to enjoy it really. And nor do I really want to. I don't really think it'd be up my zone.
Yeah, me either.
Piper, regarding like other cultural stuff, like do you watch any movies and TV shows, or are you kind of not into that?
I'm like, I always have this thing where I'm like, oh, during the summer I'm gonna watch so many movies, like whole classic movies. Like I was just really into the idea of like having all these movies that I've watched, because I feel like it's such a cool like kind of flex that like, oh yeah, I've seen all these classic movies, and then you kind of have something to connect with other people about when like so many movies. But I cannot stay off my phone during a movie, and so I find it so hard to like be able to actually pay attention to a movie. So I'm like, what's the point of even turning on a movie if I can't pay attention to it?
Yeah, being on the phone thing, the interruption of that, like I feel like you're a person who is kind of on social media a lot. Do you wish you weren't as much, or are you happy with the way you interact and kind of like live with it?
I would definitely say that I'm addicted to my phone and to screens. Like, I truly wish that I could stay off and I wasn't on as much, but I literally feel like withdrawals, and it makes me feel so anxious without it. And like, but when I'm without it, like when I'm grounded, it kind of feels so weird having like freedom, and it gives you so much more time to just do everything. Like, oh my gosh, I have time to learn a hobby. And it's like when I look on my like my screen time, and it's like, oh, you've spent 20 hours on your phone this week. Like, that's like a part-time job. Like, I could literally work instead of just being on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so
Nothing.
oh, you were to say something?
No. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, well, I do want to go into the fact that Piper used to work at Goodwill, and actually, I think I came and saw her there one time and told him like, I don't. You're not working there now, are you?
No.
No. Sad days though, because I know you liked that job. What was so good about that job? Because you spoke highly of it for so long.
Yes, it was like the best job I could ever ask for. But it was because I've always grown up going to Goodwills. Like, ever since I can remember, I've always been at Goodwills. And when we moved into like the Tillamook area, my dad used to take me to the Tillamook Goodwill all the time. And all of the employees are these little old ladies, and they're so sweet. And I've just they've watched me grow up. So they've known me for like, I moved here when I was in like 3rd grade, and I'm in 12th grade, and that's like a lot of years. So they've watched me grow up, and they've been here for like they would like know our whole names. Like, they knew like all of our business and everything. So then it was like kind of nice, like actually being able to work with them because they've already known me. And there's just so many like things. And I already love thrifting. I already love the store. I love the people there. And so it's just like, it all works out.
Yeah, I used to like thrifting a lot, and I still do, but the place we live, there's like not much of that. So,
No,
do you ever
really.
go thrifting?
I mean, I have before, but I mean, not a lot.
It can be a fun thing to go
Yeah,
do. You can like
definitely.
go get some cool fits and
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
But I'm not a person who's super into fashion either, so I don't really care too much about it.
I mean, yeah, but you can find some cool stuff.
Yeah. I know my brother, who's 43 now, he really likes that vibe, or so my dad says. I don't really know if he does it a lot, but my dad thinks he does. But
Yeah.
it's cool. I'm
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, me too.
About it. Do you guys want any tattoos when you're older? Like, I could totally see Piper. Like, when I look at you right now, I'm like, in 20 or in like even like 5 years, I feel like you're gonna have a lot of tattoos. Do you plan on it or no?
I've kind of thought about it, but I've had this kind of like weird thing against it, because I heard this thing like, oh, you wouldn't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley. But then I'm like, I'm not a car, and I feel like oh, like tattoos, like kind of they're there forever, and they kind of
Yeah, it's permanent. For
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Does that like scare you off of it? Like,
It's just like I don't like want to give off a vibe. I feel like I have this like weird thing against them. I don't know, like deep rooted thing, but I don't know. I just think like, oh, like tattoos, like wow, like tattoos. I'm like old person mentality. I don't know. They just like they're there
Just old
forever. But I feel like I so dig tattoos. I got this airbrush tattoo at a little like fair once, and I got a little spider on my arm, and it was a little black spider, and then I got a Hello Kitty on my ankle, and I got so many compliments at work on the spider, and after that it made me want to tattoo so bad. But like if someone asked me like, oh, if you had to get a tattoo like right now, what would it be? I would definitely say like, oh, just like a Hello Kitty. And I have this like spot where I was like, because I don't want it to be like, if I had to get a tattoo, I wouldn't want it to be too visible, because I think it's because I don't think they're like professional. Like,
okay, I see,
fair
I see, I
point.
see.
so I have like this giant sleeve, and I'm like, oh, I want to work like a very professional job. I feel like they would look like down upon that, so that's why I think I feel like that. But
Which they definitely would. Most jobs
yeah,
do.
Yeah, well, nowadays it's getting like better about it. Like that
Yeah.
older kind of mentality is going away, but it's still there, and it still will be there for like the beginning of our working lives, at least.
Yeah, some jobs require you to have them all covered.
I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily, you know. But you know, the ones I don't like is when, like, I really don't like when people have like tattoos right on their neck and then on their hands, but like nowhere else. It's like I feel like you kind of like have to earn it in a sense, you know. That might be fucked up, but that's just how I think.
I don't know. I won't get tattoos. I don't have anything against them. I just don't like it. It's not my thing.
I think I could get some, but I want to get them when I'm like 30 or something. I don't want to get them in my 20s because like I don't want to regret it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because when you're 30, and then plus it'll like look better for a longer amount of time. Like you see all these like, especially like girls on Instagram get like cool ass tattoos, and like they look fucking good. But like, you know, in 25 years or 20 years, they're not gonna like, they're gonna be all faded and fucking wiggly lines. It's not gonna look good.
Yeah. That's what I think. Like once I get old, my skin gets more wrinkly. You know, it's gonna look different.
Yeah.
It's not gonna look good, I don't think.
Well, one of our friends, Espen, dude, he's like what do you call it? Not a, his like thing that he's attracted to, like his like green flags, whatever. Like his attractions is tattoos.
Really?
Yeah, he loves girls with tattoos.
It's not my thing.
Espen White, that's his name, and he says that if he didn't have his last name being White, he'd get like a, you know how like the soccer players or any like sports team players have their last name on their back.
God.
If he says his last name wasn't White, he'd get that.
Yeah.
But imagine it was White, you know?
And it just said white across his back.
Yeah. Well, imagine I got mine and my last name's Brown. That's terrible.
So not gonna lie.
You guys should get matching ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White and brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racism is no more.
Yeah. Not gonna lie. Spellman would be kind of fire. Like across the back. It would look I think it would look kind of dope.
I think it would look kind of dope, but it's kind of like hanging like a picture of yourself up on your wall.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that's cool, but like, why?
Yeah.
I feel like that's something you gotta earn too. Like you
Yeah.
have to have some sort of status for.
To like get a tattoo of
Yeah.
your own name.
Because
Yeah.
if you're just some random person, like who cares? If you're like
Especially when it's
someone cool, yeah.
especially when it's across your back like
Yeah.
that, bro. Yeah.
You see all these like fucking like celebrities or whatever have like massive back tattoos, and some of them are like terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, getting a bad tattoo would suck so fucking much.
A bad tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially if it's like on your arm or some shit. It's like, oh, like all the people who you're gonna talk to see it, and they're gonna clown on you.
Yeah.
You know. But I think I will get some eventually. You know.
Oh, one thought I had. So you mentioned Hello Kitty. Where did the Hello Kitty thing the what would you call it?
The Hello Kitty
Obsession? Is it obsession or is it like where did that start? How?
So I always kind of grew up liking Hello Kitty. Like there's this little Hello Kitty TV show. It's not really a TV show, but they had like little DVDs, and I used to watch them in like my little like flip on like DVD player in the car on the road trips. But that's kind of initially where it started, and of course, like everyone, I kind of always knew about her. But then I think about my freshman year. So much happened freshman year. Wow.
You were crazy back then.
Yeah.
Well, you still are crazy, but you crazy in a different way.
Yeah. It was,
And
it was after I transferred to homeschool.
I had a stage like that as well in my life, but continue.
But I started dating someone, and I think that's when I think that's when I got TikTok, and then that kind of formed a lot of my personality. I was like, wow, like Hello Kitty is like mainstream. Other people like me like Hello Kitty. Like, wow, I actually like Hello Kitty. Wow, Hello Kitty's the thing to like. And then he kind of like, we would see Hello Kitty things like out in public, and then we'd start buying them. But I think that I never would buy Hello Kitty stuff because I didn't have like money to spend, but he had money, so he's able to buy me Hello Kitty stuff.
How old were you when you were dating this guy?
I was 15.
And how old is he?
He was 17 for like a month, and then he turned 18. Freshman and senior.
Freshman killer, exactly.
Anyway, yeah. Nike has Hello Kitty Nikes. Have you seen those?
I've heard
They're
about
blue.
them.
Those are actually fire. Like, I wouldn't rock them personally. Like, it just wouldn't be a purchase I would make. But like, I'm not mad at it. Like, they're pretty fire. Put a picture on the screen.
All right, there it is.
Yeah.
As I'm looking at it, well, in the future, I'll put my opinion on it.
I actually saw a guy wearing them the other day, to be honest with you.
Was it fire?
I mean, he wasn't really rocking the fit. He was like an older dad. I was like, that's kind of weird. But
it's so funny to see like the old dads kind of like rock some like new fashion, or they show up with like a real clean pair of like J's.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what? Like cool, but it's funny.
But like that was like more of a that was kind of out there because like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it's not like he's just wearing a pair of Jordans. Like, Hello Kitty shoes, kind of a statement a little bit. I feel like
I remember, I think it was my sophomore year, and everybody was playing basketball, and the SpongeBob fucking
those
Patrick
are so
shoes.
fire.
You think those are fire?
I love those.
Why do you think those are fire? Those are clowny.
I love SpongeBob though. SpongeBob, that's like not. I don't watch it anymore, but like back in the day.
I know I fuck with SpongeBob hard as well.
Yeah.
Piper, how about you? What's one of your favorite like kind of kid TV shows that you watched?
Besides Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
I was a heavy Arthur girl.
Arthur. Shout out to him.
Yeah, I forgot about Arthur.
Shout out to him. Mine was my favorite TV show was probably Adventure Time or regular show for sure.
Yeah.
Amazing World of Gumball and SpongeBob. Those are
Amazing World
fun.
of Gumball, fire as well.
I think the Johnny Test.
Oh yeah.
I got clowned on for saying I watched Johnny Test. Like, only bots watch Johnny Test. I'm like, dude, Johnny Test was fire, bro.
I didn't watch Johnny Test.
Dude, the twins in that show,
Yeah.
so bad.
Nah, Bling Bling Boy.
Bling Bling
He's
Boy was
so
a
funny.
And what's the one with the blue guy with the monsters?
Monsters what? Monsters Inc.
No,
That's
not
a movie.
not Monsters Inc. It's a TV show, and it's like the Monster House of.
The blue guy.
Was it like the imaginary friend?
Yes. Foster's House of Imaginary Friends.
I
I
have
think.
not seen that.
That was a fire show, and they had some girl in there who was pretty bad as well.
The girl with the red hair.
Insanely, I was down bad, dude.
Really?
I was down bad, insane for that shit.
Really?
Yes.
What is it with like like Pixar? You know,
Pixar moms
they
running.
always make the moms like super bad.
Yeah.
Like Mrs. Incredible.
Oh, God. Sorry, Piper.
Yeah,
She's
sorry.
incredible.
We're kind of leaving you out of this conversation.
I'll stay out of it.
Anyway, back on track.
Back to
here.
what's important
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Back to the guest.
Oh, I was gonna say the Pixar.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I think the baddest Pixar mom was it was like Aunt something, Aunt Cassie, I think her name was.
What's she in?
I forget what she's in, but I've seen her picture of her. I think I had my my Instagram profile picture of her for a while.
Really?
Yes, I did.
But you don't remember who she is.
No, I don't. Pixar, I mean, I don't really watch animated movies anymore, but Pixar always comes out with like insanely cool new shit.
Yeah.
The Luca movie, or was it Lucas? You know, the one about the guy who's like a underwater thing.
I haven't seen that movie. You're not giving great descriptions of these people. Or
I'm
these
sorry,
Good job.
sorry.
The underwater thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, half underwater, half human boy.
What?
Yes.
Have you seen this movie?
I know what he's talking about, but I think he's doing a terrible job of describing it.
Okay, we're going to another
You could be
question.
describing the Little Mermaid. For
Yeah.
all we know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to a better question. I'm sorry, guys. The cheer team. You're on the cheer team.
Yes.
Our cheer team, Spellman, as you know, probably, well, you guys know the cheer team. Can you explain your position on the cheer team?
I'm just there.
Is there positions on a cheer team?
No, there's kind of like there's the front row and the back row, and that's kind of like what it's kind of the only hierarchy there is. Front row and
Like
back
JV
row.
and varsity?
No, it's just like we're all varsity, but usually like at other schools, like normal big schools, there's JV and varsity that would cheer for JV and varsity games, but just front row and back row.
But there's only like not that many people that do cheer at our school, so
I feel like there's a lot more this year than the past years. Am I right?
is there?
Yeah, at one point I was the only cheerleader, like the middle of like sophomore year. Like there was like it was just
Oh,
me
I
and
remember
Delaney
that.
for
I
a
remember
minute,
that, yeah.
and then Delaney quit to go to work I think, and so I was the only cheerleader for a minute. But there was no games or anything, so luckily it wasn't just me. Like, good team.
Would you go to practice when you're by yourself?
Yeah, it was just me and the coach, and she would just like teach me all the little cheers. I'm like, okay. It was kind of chill. It was like a personal trainer, but
Were the practices still like long?
yeah, it was still the same time.
Still?
She's there for 2 hours doing just nothing.
Just
Yeah.
one-on-one?
Yeah, but it was like I was new at that time.
Okay.
So I was learning everything else that I would have learned the
All right,
year
fair
before.
enough.
Wait, do you feel like it's really that hard though to become a our school cheerleader or no? Or is it harder than people think?
I think it might be. It kind of depends because it's a lot of memorization and it's just so stressful. There's so many little factors that go into it that I think that people don't give it as much credit as it deserves. But there's just also different kinds of cheer. But like people are like, oh, like cheer isn't a sport. But like some people think that like competitive cheer is a sport. But I personally think that like even our cheer is a sport. But there's just so much that kind of goes into it. Like people don't really see like, oh, they're just like standing on the sideline. Like they don't really know that we actually like practice and we do warm-ups and we like work out and we do stretches every day to like prep ourselves for these cheers, and we go hard for them.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know that.
That they go hard for the cheers.
Well, they do
2
like, the
hour-long
preparation.
practices every day.
Cheer seems like something you could practice for 20 minutes a day. Like on the surface.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't know that all that went into it.
Yeah, they got to stretch out. They're athletes, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's funny?
Why are
it's
you
funny.
looking at
It's
me
funny,
like
Sean.
that? Don't look at me like that.
No, I remember I was in a baseball tournament in Reno last year, and there was a group of girls who was staying in the hotel with, like, not with us, but like on the same floor or whatever, and they had a cheer competition. And their competition was actually in the hotel. The hotel had a auditorium that they're performing in. And one of the girls showed me a video of their stuff, because some of the guys were like hating on, and they're like, cheer's not a sport, cheer sucks, whatever. So she's like, oh, you want to see? So she shows me and one of my friends a video,
Yeah.
and dude, they're insane what they
Are
do.
they really?
The cheer teams can be insane, bro. They flip people up, they do
Yeah.
insane spins, and then they do like massive backflips and shit. It's like, who
Yeah.
are you?
I've seen that. I mean, yeah.
No.
This is cool. I just think at our school, like, the cheer is not, like, what's the word, marketed enough. Or, like, pushed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not. We don't really have a good rep at all.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Kind of
yeah,
everyone
it's not
hates us.
represented.
But there's also a problem. Like we want to do stunting, like all the like crazy flips and stuff that a lot of schools do, and I think that our cheer team isn't given a lot of credit because we don't do the stunting. But that's usually only been a problem because we don't have enough people, and there's like we need like someone else to train us how to do the stunting, and there's just like a lot more to the stunting that so we can't really do stunting, so we're just kind of standing there and yelling and clapping.
Well, it's like you obviously need like to have the right amount of people to like throw somebody up in the air and then catch them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't have strong girls or
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, you gotta have the personnel, just like with any sport, I guess. I mean, you're not gonna be good at basketball if you don't have the right personnel or any other thing like that. I
Well,
guess.
and I heard that your coach isn't like given the ability or have the check on her resume to like do stunting, or am I wrong? Can she do that?
Yeah, I don't think that she can do stunting. She's like licensed to do like cheer, but I think that like the stunts are classified under like tumbling, and I think that needs to be like a whole different like certification thing, because she's talked about like, oh, like maybe like sometimes like season we'll have someone come in and do it. I'm like, oh, okay, like we can't just, she's like, oh, we'll have like a tumbling day, and like, so we need to bring someone in here to like stand on each other's thighs and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm
Oh, like you
okay.
need like a tumbling coach or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she should do that though. I mean, I know that she wants to retire, or
Yeah.
our coach wants to retire though, and that's okay, I guess. But I think that if cheer was pushed more and was made more cool, and we did do this like tumbling stuff, I think there'd be even guys who wanted to do it, because then it's kind of more fun. Dude,
Name, like,
she's
two
good.
people.
She's fair. That's fair. She's kind of right. Who?
no, but she like if you had all these flips going on, and they're like, "Yo, we need guys to like help out," and it's like cool, people would do something that was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
but like, who?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Someone would come out of the shadows. And
I don't think so. She's guy A here on this one, I would say,
you don't think Eddie Loza would come out of
No.
the shadow?
because
He dropped basketball to do cheer.
no, he wouldn't. Not in a million years.
Okay, maybe Jack Stanfield would.
That's fair.
No, don't say it as a bad thing.
No, I said that's fair.
Yeah,
Jack Stanfield.
I may even fucking if Jack was there, I'd probably do cheer.
I could see you doing that, to be honest. You have the personality for it.
Yeah, I think I could. If it was cool, like that's the thing.
So stunting would just make it cool.
If I was throwing people up and like did cool shit and my friends were doing it, I would probably do it, because I don't care. I don't care about it having that weird connotation. You know, as a guy.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if there was stunting, it would be awesome. Like it, like the lights and stuff, like in the gym. You know, like
Everything's on and like it's
everything's
cool.
like it's like an atmosphere. You know.
Mhm.
The fluorescent lights.
But me saying
No, yeah.
me saying that I do cheerleading if it was fun, like if the boys did it and it was chill and we were throwing people up and catching them, that makes people like Maddie, who was on here last time, make me say I'm a crier.
Wait, what?
That
Wait, say that
mentality.
again. Oh,
She would say that because I would say I do cheerleading. That'd be like, oh, you're a crier, like a pussy.
yeah.
basically. But
Does Cole give you a crier vibe? Do you think Cole's a crier?
I don't think so. I don't know.
they don't think I'm masculine enough, I think.
Some of them don't. Even somebody on our YouTube commented, "The dude in the black is so beta."
Well, you're in the black now, bud.
Well, now I am, but they said I was high.
Yeah, they said you were high and I was beta.
Yeah. No, it was because it was what clip was it? It was the Lizzo clip.
Oh,
It was
well,
that one.
I take back what I said about Lizzo. I would not smash that queen because I'm just not into her, man. I look at more pictures of her and I realize not for me, more for y'all.
Fair
We'll
enough.
take her.
You'll take her,
Yeah.
Piper. I know you went to Washington D.C. over this past little break or whatever you call it. Can you tell us that? Oh, she basically almost got kidnapped when she went to Washington D.C.
Really?
I don't want you to go into the entire thing because it took like a period for it to tell me, because there's a lot of stuff in it. It's crazy.
Okay.
But like, can you briefly tell us about that? Like, you literally almost getting kidnapped.
Okay, so I spent a week in DC, and while I was in DC, there was a lot of public transportation, and that included like the little subways, and they were really fun. And
Is this like on a school trip, or you like by yourself? Or
I
what?
was
Like-
with my grandparents. My grandparents like reached out like a few months ago, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go on a DC trip with us?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, my grandparents are so boring, but they're so nice, and they're like loaded." So my mom was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Like, it's gonna be a once in a lifetime opportunity, and they'll pay for college anyway. So like, just go. You're not losing anything." And I was like, "Okay." But we were on the subway. I think it was like day 3 that we were there, because we were there for like 7 or 8 days or something. And this so we're like walking on to get onto the subway,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this guy sitting against like a ledge, and he looks young. He's like attractive, and he's eating a bag of rainbow goldfish, and he's got a gallon of water, like a jug of water in his hand. And I'm just kind of like staring at him. And I have like a really bad like problem with eye contact. Like I will stare people down. Like I've got a staring problem. Like I'm surprised I haven't been like beat up over it yet, because I just stare at people.
Well, like they're staring at you back. You just like stare at them, like you see a random person. and
Like you
just
do
stare.
unknowingly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of aware of it. I just kind of like romanticize it in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, like yeah, they see me stare and like they want me.
Ugh.
Okay, but yeah, it is gross.
Okay.
But in this case, it
Okay.
worked.
That is not what I
worked.
thought.
It's not that
I
bad. It's
don't-
not that bad. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I just don't blink. Just like a creepy like.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna do it now. Okay. Anyway, so we're all going on the subway, and I'm with my grandparents, and we're all like standing up because it's like a packed car, and he's like on the other side of the car, and then I'm like, like, because he was looking back at me. It wasn't just one-sided, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he's like looking in. So I look over, and he's looking at me. I'm like, okay, and he's still got his goldfish and everything, and I
And this
like
gallon of water.
look back, yeah. Chugging it.
Food of champions.
Yeah.
Well, no, this guy's not a
Breakfast.
champion. Hear what this guy
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Okay. So, he like comes. So we like glance at each other a couple
Pause.
times, and then he starts coming over, and the subway's like going like I don't know, millions of miles per hour. I don't know how fast they go, but it's like going. So we're all like trying to hold on, and so he's walking over. He's like stumbling because it's like when you're walking on a bus, like it's not stable, and. So he like walks over and he's like, hey, and I'm like, hi, and he's like, oh, like you're cute, like can I get your snap? And I was like, oh sure. And I'm with my grandparents, and we're just like kind of chatting it up, and I was like, nice meal you have there. And he's like, oh yeah, like only the best. Like he's like, yeah, crazy what they'll charge you for like just a normal bottle of water. Like he was like, it's just cheaper to get this than actually a literal bottle of water. I was like, that makes sense, yeah. And I don't know. We were just kind of talking about his bottle of water, but then, so I give him my snap, and then I like get off. He misses one of his stops for me to keep talking to me, and so we're just like talking. My grandparents are like talking, and he's like, talk to my grandparents too, and he's like, oh, like are you guys like from here or something? And he asked me, so he's like, oh, like you're a tourist? And I was like, yeah, like I'm not from here. And he's like, oh, like cool, like where are you staying? And I was like, oh, I'm staying at the Capitol Hilton. He's like, oh, I'm just going to pretend like that I know what that is. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, my grandparents rent this nice restaurant, this nice hotel room, and you don't even know what it is. I was like, okay, whatever.
He lived in D.C., right?
Yeah.
So he was a D.C. local?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we go our separate ways, and then we're just snapping, and he's like, oh, like, I want to see you again. I'm like, oh, yeah, like, come visit me in Oregon. Like, I was like, I got a beach house. Like,
The normal weird shit. I've said it before, too, so whatever.
What?
Come visit me. I mean, you'll never fucking see them ever again in
No.
your life. Yeah. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, like you should come here next. Like I went over there next. Like we can take turns. I don't know. I thought it was like, in my head, I was like, this is like how like romance novels are. Like this is love. Like, oh my gosh, like this is so romantic.
Yeah.
And then on my last night of DC, he's like texting me, and he's like, I really want to see you like before you leave. And I was like, oh well, like the only way you'll be able to do that like is to fly the plane home. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll get to studying the whole rules now. I was like, yeah, I'll get to that. But then
Okay.
but he's like, I really want to see you. Like he's like, oh my god. He's like, you should sneak out of your hotel. And I was like, that's so funny. Like that's not happening ever. And he was like, oh, like why? You should like come sneak out. Like I want to show you around the city. And I was like, no, this isn't like a movie. Like my grandparents are in the same room as me, and they're passed out, and it's like midnight, and I was like ready for bed because we have an early flight in the morning, and I was like, no makeup, like pajamas on and everything. I was like gross and ready to go to bed. And he's like, oh, like you should come like hang out. I was like, no. What?
No.
Stop looking at me every time she says that.
Says what?
Come. Every time you say, "Oh, you should come," or "He's coming," gives me a weird look.
Ew, cool. Okay.
Sorry, yes.
Oh my god.
So just
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Finish
Anyway.
the story. He's being rude.
So So I'm like, yeah, like the little only thing we'd able to do if we saw each other today is sit outside my door and like talk. Cause I was like, that is all that would be able to happen. And I was like, yeah, like I was like, I really wish I could see you, but I was trying to be as nice as possible. I was like, I really wish I could see you, like maybe like next time. I was like, oh, you can always come to Oregon, like you can always come over and stuff. And I was like getting ready for bed, and then I get a snap from him. It's a picture of my hotel.
Oh nah, no way.
He remembered what hotel I told him I was at, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, he cannot be serious.
You doxed yourself.
No, and I was like, I didn't even think that was like that relevant of information. So now I'm like, oh, maybe I should be careful talking to strangers. But then I'm like, oh my gosh. And he sends me a video of him walking in. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, he's in my hotel. And he's like, he already asked you. He's like, oh, are like the people here like strict? Like, are they going to ask me like what I'm doing? And then I didn't get to respond to that. And then because he's already in. And then he asks me, he's like, what floor are you on? And that's not really creepy, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was like, he's already here. Like, I might as well, like, just, like, stand outside and, like, talk to him or something. I don't know. I was, like, kind of freaking out because I was like, he's already here. Like,
This is giving me anxiety, bro.
I know I'm, like, shaking thinking of, like, it was just so, like, there was so much adrenaline, too, because I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, my grandparents are, like, fast asleep. And, like, they're snoring, they're, like, honking away. I can't just be like, oh, like, I'm going to go step out for a minute. Like, no. But, so I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, what am I going to do? Like, so I told him what floor I was on. I was like, yeah, I'm on, like, floor 6. So I'm, like, kind of trying to sneak out of my hotel room. And I leave the door, like, unlocked, like, on the hinge, like, so it's not completely shut, but I like kind of shut it close. And then he comes up and he's like, hey, and I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, you're crazy. I was like, oh my gosh. And he's like, oh, it's okay.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so
Okay.
it was just
why you asked that? Is she being?
No, because
My
She's
legs
shaking?
she was shaking. Yeah.
Are you? Is it because you're cold or because this is the memory?
It was just
for you?
such a like memory. Like I just remember like the feeling of it. It was just like I was
Like
shaking the
just
whole
like
time.
one of those. Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah,
experience. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
sorry.
have to tell us if you don't
Yeah.
want to, but
No,
And I
it's
just want to
so
make
fun.
sure you're good.
It's the only like story I have from DC. Like when people like ask like, "Oh, how was DC?" I'm like, "I have a story for you." But I went out and he was like, "Oh, so like, what do you want to do? Like, I saw your hotel has a gym. Like, we should go down there. Like, we should go hang out." And I was like, "No, like, I'm not gonna leave my floor." And he's like, "Oh, like, we should go out." Like, he's like, "Let's go look at the city. Like, I want to show you around. Like, I'll show you like blah blah blah. Like, we can go here." And I was like, "I'm not leaving my floor." Like, I told him, I was like, if someone looks out of my door, like wondering like where I am, I want them to be able to look up and down the hallway and be like, "Oh, she's like literally right there, like in the hallway." And I was like, we can do laps up and down the hallway and talk, but like I'm not leaving the floor. And he's like, "Oh, like okay, like whatever." And I was like, kind of freaking out to him. I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy!" Like, literally just snuck out of a hotel room, and so we're just like walking up, and he's still trying to like when we're like walking, he's still trying to like, "Oh, like we should just go like somewhere else, like." Your grandparents are like asleep, like they won't even notice if you're gone. I was like, no, like it's okay. And so we're walking by, and there's a bunch of like different rooms. There's like staircase, there's like vending machine room, and like there's a bunch of different little mini hallways. And we're like, oh, we can just run up and down the little mini hallways because I was like, those would be like 2 seconds. And we're like, oh, making fun of all the different little things, like, oh, this side only has like 1 door and this has 2, like blah blah blah. We're
just being whatever.
Yeah. We're just having fun. And then we walk down the side, and there's a vending machine room, and we like kind of like walk in there, and I'm against a wall, and
That's not a good start.
When I heard the story, dude, I was like, holy fuck.
and he's like, there's like no vending machine in the vending machine room. There's just like ice, and we're like, okay, like. And it was a creepy room too, and I was like, oh my gosh, this place is creepy, and there's like weird stains and like holes, and he's like, yeah, actually I'm like a ghost, and like this is like I was like, oh, no wonder you took me here.
At this point in the story, like, were you creeped out by him at all?
Or
were you just kind of like into him, kind of like, oh, you're so crazy? Like, what?
there was definitely something up. Like, I could already, like, I knew something was wrong. Like, my whole body, like, was like a gut feeling that, like, everything
weird.
was so intense. Like,
Yeah.
I was freaking out. I didn't really feel, like, comfortable with this guy. And, like, I already could tell that he was kind of pushy just based off of him just saying, like, oh, it's going to be fine. Like, it's going to be, like.
Or in the fact that he just showed up at your hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was also
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
weird, too.
Okay, anyway.
But he was like, so we're just kind of like talking, and then we kind of like make eye contact with him, and he's like taller than me, and I'm against the wall, and we're just kind of like, he like kind of like looking up at me and like looking down, and then he like swoops down and like intensely like makes out with my face, and I'm like, and he's like, his teeth are involved. I don't even know. Like, he was like biting my face, and I was like, my mouth was not even open. His full mouth was open, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I just want a little smooch smooch. Like, I was like, I didn't even want the kiss, and we were just like make out, and then he like, oh my god. There's this face that my friend Hallie does, and she calls it like a man when he's trying to kiss you, and it's like the most scary face, but it's like. And he like leans in, and she does. It's so funny when she does it, but that's all I could see when he was doing it. I was like, "Oh God, it's the face," and so I was like, "Oh God!" And then he's like full out making out with my face, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And like my mouth is not open, like he's like full on tongue, like teeth, and it was so wet and sloppy. I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like
That's so bad.
I was like, has no one ever like kissed this man or something? I was like, are other people kissing him and like thinking like, oh yeah, this is fine. Like, I was like, is this normal? Am I the weird one? And so I was like, okay, like I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I was like, oh, let's get out of the vending machine room. And I was like, and I kept like, I was like trying to push by him, and I was like, oh, like, let's get out. And he was like, no. So I was trying to push him. But then he like wouldn't like move, so I was like, oh, like hug or something. We were hugging, and I was like kind of freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to get back in my room. And so then like we stopped hugging because I was like, I don't want to kiss him. And so I was like, okay, we're just gonna hug because I don't want to kiss. And then he gets like pulls away from the hug, and then he tries to kiss me again. And then I don't know, I like, what am I supposed to do? So I'm just, and I'm not like, I'm just like moving my lips. He's moving his whole like jaw. He's like biting my face. It is I feel like I was being eaten. And so then I finally like pushed back by him to get like out. I'm like, okay, like let's start heading back to my room. Like, I'm like nervous, like someone's gonna wake up. And he's like, oh, it's fine, like no one's gonna wake up, your parents are old, like grandparents are old, like they're not gonna wake up, like blah blah blah. And I kept telling him, I literally told him, I was like, yeah, like I have a really early flight tomorrow, like I should like get back to my room and go to bed soon, because it was like midnight, but it was still like kind of like 9 o'clock in my mind because I was used to my old time. But I was like giving every excuse to like get out of it. He's like, oh, you can just get a coffee at the airport, like this is like gonna be the only time we are able to like see each other, like don't you like want to just make the most out of it? And I was like, no, I'm really tired, I want to go to bed. So I like left that vending machine room, and then we're like, he's kind of walking me to my room, and then there's another vending machine and vending machine room, and this one actually has a vending machine. So he like, because he's like, oh, let's just check out all the other ones. And I was like, okay. And then real vending machine, and he's like, oh, do you want anything? And I was like, oh, like no, like I'm really nervous, like I can't eat, like I'm freaking out, like I don't want to eat, I'm gonna throw up if you make me eat. And he's like, okay, like he's like, no, I want to buy you something, like what you want. I was like, I don't know. He's like, what about these? I was like, no. He's like, how about some Sour Patch Kids? And I was like, okay, like sure.
Riz.
Yeah.
He just ate her face, now he's buying her fucking
Yeah.
A meal. He's
yeah.
buying her a meal.
Yeah. So we like walk. Really like, I'm like, he pulls out his car and like buys them, and I'm like, yay. And then we're kind of snacking on him. He like hands me the bag, and I'm like, okay, like I don't even really like Sour Patch Kids. If I was at a vending machine, that would be probably the thing I'd want the least. I think his first choice were these like Fig Newton bars.
Okay, this guy's fucking weird.
Yeah. And
I mean, everything else has done is fucking weird too, but Fig Newtons, dude, yeah, you're
yeah,
on another level.
I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Because I was like, anything's better than fucking Fig Newtons. Like, Sour Patch Kids, okay, that they're not that bad compared to Fig Newtons. And then, so I think we closed the door there or something too. But
there's a door to this room?
yeah, it's like a vending, it's like a door. It's like a weird giant closet, but there's a vending machine in it.
Huh.
But, and then, I don't know, he's trying to like smooch again. Like he's trying to like
Do weird shit.
yeah. And I'm like, okay, thanks, like bye. And then so I'm like walking out and I'm like, okay, and then like right in front of my door and I hug him and I'm like, it was really nice meeting you. And I was like, so glad to finally get out of this. I look at the door.
It's shut.
Yeah, it's shut. And I'm like, oh my god, maybe like wind or something. I don't know. Like there's wind in a hotel. And so I move the doorknob. It's locked. So I look over into all the elevators in the whole like elevator lobby. My grandpa comes out fully dressed and is like, Piper, the cops are in the lobby looking for you. Everyone's looking for you. Where have you been? And I'm like, oh shit. And he takes off running the opposite way because we already like, we walked around knowing like, so he knew where all the staircase exits were because we were walking around. So we went the opposite way and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out. And he lets me in the room. My grandma's like, well, hope it was worth it or something. She was being a real bitch. Like I was like, oh my gosh. I was like I'm so sorry. That was not like, I did not expect for that to happen at all. Like it was not supposed to be that big of a deal at all. Like I just was like stepping out. I was like, I was on the same floor. Like it wasn't even like that long. And she was like, what were you thinking? Like you left your phone here. Like how are we supposed to contact you? And I was like, huh? And then I realized I brought two phones to the trip because I just got a new phone recently and I just like recently transferred stuff over to the other phone. So I was just used to carrying around like both phones because one had like the data and one I would have, the new one would have Wi-Fi and the old one would have data. So of course I wanted to use the new one. So I was carrying around one phone. I had my other phone on the bed. So to them, it looked like I was gone, left my phone on the bed, left everything, doors open.
Super sketch.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
So I was like,
I can understand why they're pissed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
yeah, we're in a strange place I've never been, Washington, D.C. Like, yeah, so I totally get why they're pissed too. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was not supposed to be that like big of a deal at all. I just like I stepped out of the room, like I was still on the same floor. Like I did not. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And they're like, yeah, you better be. I'm like, well, they're so pissed. And my grandma was like, oh, like thanks for ruining vacation, Piper. I was like, eh. And then
That's fucked up.
and yeah.
Yeah.
And so my grandpa went back down to talk to the cops, and they said they saw the guy like zooming out. And I was like, oh my God. And so they're all like, you could have been killed. Like, you don't know this guy. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, this all like makes sense. Like, wow, like this actually makes sense. And they're like, you don't have any like self-defense. Like, you don't have like, they're like, what would you have done? Like what? You don't know this guy. Like he could have had like a whole group of guys up with him. Like they could have done terrible things to you. They could have like, and
Done
they're like,
everything.
Yeah.
and they're like, you left the door open, so that like puts us at risk. Like someone could have come in, like and like hurt us. Like literally, like everything went wrong. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like I thought if you noticed, like I was gone because I woke up in the middle of the night because it was like 1 a.m. and like my grandma woke up and she saw I wasn't there, and so she started freaking out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like I thought if someone like just woke up or anything, like they would just text me or like just like look out and see that I was in the hallway. But I think it's when they looked out, I was in one of the vending machine rooms. So I wasn't out there. So I was like, oh my God. And so I was like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, and they're so pissed. And they're like, we're going to tell your like parents in the morning. They're like, you think this is bad? Well, like, you don't even know what your parents like are going to do to you. Like,
Ugh.
and I was like, oh God, I was freaking out, but I was like, oh my God. So it was just like such a bad gut feeling. And then like we all had to sleep because we were all we have to wake up at like 5 a.m. for our flight. And my grandma was like, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. Like, do you? And they're like, well, thanks for ruining our sleep. Thanks for ruining our vacation. Like, thanks for ruining everything. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, I'm like, what am I supposed to say that? And my grandma's like, well, I don't think we'll ever be able to trust you ever again. My grandpa's like the good cop in the situation. He's like, oh, I think we will. Like we will. Like, it's just going to take some time. My grandma's like, well, like, there goes us ever going on vacation with you ever again. And in my head, I was like, good. Like, I don't want to go on your boring vacations anyway. I was miserable the whole time. I was like,
Oh, so you're fighting it a little bit.
Her grandparents watching
in
this
my
right
head,
now.
I was just like, I
Her
was just taking
grandparents-
it. I was like,
her-
they're so right.
her
Like, they
gr-
take me on a vacation. They're like, we take you on a vacation. Like, you don't have to pay for anything, and you just do this. And I was like, I don't really see like how it like I completely ruined the vacation. Like, it's not like I lit the whole building on fire. But yeah, if I give you guys a heart attack, like, I see how that could.
Have happened.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Spellman, what do you have to say about that entire story, dude? When she first told me that, dude, I was in fucking shock. I said, Piper, how did you survive?
That is shocking.
Dude, yeah.
Well, and then it was like movie-like the way it like turned, like her grandpa coming out of the elevator, being like, the cops are here. Like, that's like a movie.
That's nuts.
That is insane. I'm yeah, that's a crazy story.
I don't know if I've ever had anything that drastic happen to me in my life.
No.
Maybe I have, but I feel like it just happened recently to Piper, so she's able to explain it well and really feel the same emotions. I think I may have had stuff similar to that kind of anxiety that happens and just terrible, like, insane energy, you know? But recently, no, definitely not.
The one time I've ever had anything like that happen, and it's nowhere near as crazy as that, I was in Disneyland, and I was walking with my family, and, like, I was walking out in front of them, right? Well, they were walking one way, and then they went this way. Well, I didn't realize they went that way, and I just kept going straight.
Yeah.
And I turn around, my family's not there, and I'm, like, this little, like, 10 years old. In the middle of Disneyland, none of my family. And as I'm turning around, these people are like, "Oh, I think your parents went that way. Like, come with us. Or we'll help you find them." And I'm like, nah. Like, I bounced out of there
Oh my God.
and found them. But that was like the craziest thing like that's ever came close to happening to me.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
But nowhere near
that's
nuts.
not that crazy.
I think also being a girl too, and especially being a girl that like people want to talk to you, you know, or you have some and they just want to talk to you, like that you have like a good vibe around you, you know, like Piper does.
Yeah,
And they want to talk to you. They come up, and being a girl, people can really take advantage of that. That's fucked up.
Mm.
In the place that we live, it's really not really common to have that happen. Nothing like that would. I mean, it would, but not in that same way. You know,
Yeah,
like you could have a weird guy trying to do some weird stuff to you, or a girl doing it to a guy. But the entire city life, DC, being in a hotel. Are you good, Piper?
Yeah.
Okay, we can take a. I didn't need to go to the bathroom, so we can take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Let's take a break. Come back. That was an insane story.
That was.
Wow.
How long have we been talking?
I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see at the break.
Alright.
All right, we're back. We're here. I didn't even use the bathroom. We just needed a little bit of a break. We just need a little bit of break, recuperation after that amazing story by Piper.
Yeah, it was a good told story. I wouldn't say it's amazing.
we were just saying that. Oh, it's definitely not amazing the content,
Yeah.
but the way she explained it, that was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Piper's a person who attracts weird people. You know, we're in class sometimes and we're talking, and she either just got some McDonald's or something, shows up in the morning. Because you live 45 minutes away from school.
Yes.
That's insane what she does. So she
Yeah.
has to drive by McDonald's. And she says, always at McDonald's, there's some weirdo talking to her and just doing weird shit.
Like that works there?
It's not like, I don't know, weirdos. Like the whole morning shift at McDonald's, they just kind of love me. Like,
Which is, there's no hate to anybody with
No.
McDonald's, but it's just like, she's just said some weird stuff that's happened. Am I right or am I wrong, Piper?
I don't even remember what I've said.
Like the people like flirt with you there, or the workers or whatever.
Oh. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I got someone's like Facebook, like someone like added me on Facebook. I'm like,
Yeah.
W. Hey, let me get your Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah.
It's old school. Here, let's see. 7th grade. Oh, I wanted to ask you, Spellman. This question's for you. How do you define a love, Spellman? How do you define love?
I mean,
Define love.
that's very
It's hard.
off ball.
Sorry, I'll ask a better question.
I mean, no, it's a fine question. I just wasn't prepared for that kind of.
I was gonna throw the ultimate curveball, but you stopped me. But
that one?
just go to love.
How do I define love?
What does it mean to love somebody?
I mean, like on what level? Like relationship or like friendship?
All
levels?
No, not friendship. I'm talking about more relationship, family vibe. What does it mean?
Like
to
if
love
you
somebody?
love somebody, I feel like I don't know, you in that kind of circumstance, you're willing to put your life on the line for them. You enjoy them obviously, and I mean, yeah, you're willing to put your life on the line for them. You're loyal to them, and you just have their back overall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about you, Piper? What do you think loving somebody means?
I think that just loving someone, just in a general,
Nice.
oh my god, I don't know what love is.
No, it's fine if you don't want to talk about love. That's fine. I
It's
have
too deep.
I have a better
I don't know.
I have a better question for Piper.
But how do you define it?
How do I define love? Just like unconditionally loving somebody. So if I told my girl I love her, like that means that like even if she pisses me off or she makes me really mad, at the end of the day I still like love her and I forgive her, or my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the putting the life on the line deal, like you said, that's a little, because I think, I guess I would put my life on the line for my parents, but I also know, like, if I was given the moral question, would you die for your parents? I'd say yes. But when I really think about it, I know that they wouldn't want me to die for them, that
Yeah.
I'm younger and they would want me to create my own legacy.
Yeah.
And so that they would, if I died, they would live a life of infinite depression because
Yeah.
of the fact that their son died, And they
Yeah.
could get over it, or they could get through it, rather. But they'd always may regret that choice that I made. Oh, certainly. So in that sense, maybe I would not.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's really hard to actually say that, like, when it really came down to it, you would, like, die for someone.
Yeah. Even if it's somebody like your family member.
Yeah.
I've only been in love one time. I'll tell you guys a story. I was 7th grade, my first ever girlfriend. This girlfriend was batshit crazy, and I really mean it. She was fucking nuts. Her name was Piper.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. No, it was. I don't want to say her name.
Is it that one girl?
Yes, it's that one girl. It is that one girl. I don't know why.
He still talks about her. He misses her.
No,
I haven't talked. I haven't talked about her in a long time.
A while.
Since I moved here.
Yeah.
And then it came up one more time, but that wasn't because I said it. It's because you said it.
Yeah.
And anyways, yeah, I was in love with that chick. I would. That's the one where it's like unconditionally she'd treat me like shit, and I'd still just like love her, dude. And I loved her probably for like a year after we broke up. Probably, dude. I know, but this is the thing. It was my first relationship ever. We had so many of like the firsts. You know what I mean? Like the first kind of like kiss, like the first kind of deal, the first kind of girlfriend experience. And when you have that, you're in love. And I've never had it since with a girl.
Really?
I've dated girls, but I wouldn't say it's ever gotten to that point where it's like unconditionally, I like love you.
Yeah, but she was treating you like crap, bro.
I know. But she also wouldn't. Like, she really, really understood me, I feel like. But she just manipulated me a lot.
Then she didn't really understand you.
How did she manipulate you at such a young age?
I think it's because, like, again, like, you haven't done anything with anything other girls. I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about just, like,
just any experience.
Any experience with a girlfriend.
With a relationship.
So I'm talking about going out to eat together, going to the movies, doing all these things. When you're coming in through middle school, you're starting to drink and do these things, and you're starting to drink milk. I'm talking about, but you're starting to engage in high school, college activity. I was where I lived in California.
Yeah.
And when you have those with a girl, and you're going to school and you're playing that game and you're making friends and everything, and you have this one girl to kind of lean on, you fall in love with her. You do, or I did at least.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Because the game of social the dynamics here is a lot different here than it was in California. It may, and I believe it just was because I was in middle school, but it's kind of a complex idea. I'll do my best to describe it. Here, people aren't really as socially in tune with like modern culture as I feel like people in California were. Because, and I also, like I said, I think this is because I was in middle school, but people cared more about what you looked like, how you acted. You wanted to be cool more. Again, this was because I was in middle school. But having a girl there to just rely on, like I said, just fell in love with her.
Okay.
Just did. Piper, have you ever been in love?
Yeah.
Do you think you're still in love?
No.
That was very hesitant.
Well, I think I have to think about it, and anyone has to think about it too.
Yeah.
But why is the hesitance? Is there hesitancy?
I don't think I'm in love. Like, still, like, when I first fell in love, I don't think I'm still like, oh, I'm still in love. I think I'm in love with the idea of the love that happened there. I think that's what I'm like still in love with, is like the idea of the love that happened.
Yeah, that's how I felt for a long time. Again, like that year that I had of like once I broke up with her. I know though, if I lived there, that would have continued. But the fact that I moved away from where I used to live, that cut it off. And then again, I stopped talking to all those people. I stopped completely cutting them off. So that really helped in my maturing and my creating new paths for my life.
Yeah.
Do you love your girlfriend, right?
Nah. Yeah, of course I do.
When did you say, like, because you go from a point where really, really liking to somebody, you're like, all right, yeah, all right, I love you. Or was it pretty quick? Because some girls hop on that, and I'm not. I'm a person who takes a second to say it.
If people just say it, like, if you're just like, oh yeah, I love you, nah, I don't really think it means you do that much. Well, not that you do that much, but it's just not as genuine as like if you really develop.
Developing
that person,
it,
yeah.
Because you can say it all day, but when you really feel that, that really means,
yeah.
But it's a cool feeling, I guess.
Yeah, you think you can fall out of love?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But I've never really had super much experience, but it sounds possible. Why not? You fall in love with somebody, but then like Piper just said, you might still like love the thought of it, or love the love that you gave them, or want the love that you gave them, but you're not currently in love with them.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's unconditionally loving someone. Piper, would you ever be in a polyamorous relationship?
You know, I've thought about this a lot, but I think that, you know, I think I would, but only if it was like I can have a gazillion boyfriends, not the other way around.
Why would you want so many boyfriends? Are you talking about just like having like intimacy with all of them, or
no,
more like
not really like intimacy, but I just
that's
feel
like an open relationship, right? Remind me what
polyamorous means that you have multiple boyfriends and girlfriends.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
This is like, I don't know, this is my kind of hot take of the hour, but like I feel like so many people have like so many different things to offer, and I've like seen this thing that's like, oh, like, but a lot of people feel like, oh, this person's like good with this, but this person's good with this. But I heard that all like stops when you find like the person. So I'm kind of like, oh, like this guy like does this guy like is this guy like does this for me, like this guy's funny, this guy's tall, this guy can drive, this guy's got money, like in theory, okay.
Yeah,
and
no, I get what you mean.
So I'm like, oh, like all these different guys have different qualities, and like that's like, oh, I need to laugh, like I'm gonna go hang out with this funny guy, like, ooh, I want to feel like short and little, I'm gonna hang out with the tall guy, like I want to go out for a nice dinner, I'm gonna hang out with the guy with money. So I feel
she's objectifying men.
She is right now.
I'm just saying, like, in
but that's
theory.
okay. That's okay because we all have our standards of like what makes the opposite gender attractive. So it's fine.
Sure,
it's okay because
I just list like my objectifying.
Imagine I was
traits.
like, I want a girl who's gonna make me laugh, and I want to go to the other. Actually, maybe I could say it. I could say it.
It'd
It'd be different.
It's a thin line. There,
Okay,
you're on
but
thin
you
ice.
asked
I'm not
me,
offended.
like,
I'm not-
if
I'm not
I
offended.
No,
wanted,
we're
like,
just-
multiple
I'm not
boyfriends.
offended.
We're just saying, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. You can't. I'm with Spellman. Really, I don't fucking care. Whatever.
Well, I just feel like, I don't know, if I had like multiple boyfriends, that's kind of just how it would be. But I feel like it'd just be kind of chill until like you find I feel like you have to kind of work through different people until you find, which is, oh my God, such a whole thing to say. Oh my God.
No, it's not. It's not working through getting to know certain
I feel like
people.
that's just a bad wording. Like, you have to get like experience through other relationships to figure out like what you're gonna take in a relationship, like how much you can like, if you're gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna put up with.
Are you talking to the mic?
No.
There you go.
Like, you have to figure out like, oh, I'm not gonna put up with this, like being treated like this is like what I want, like I want someone to treat me like this. I feel like you just kind of have to go through boys, but you have to like go through the experience.
I get what you're
of
saying.
relationships.
Yeah. I get what
Same
you're
thing
saying.
with any relationship, no matter if it's girls or guys.
Okay, but at the start of this topic, you said that you
But
would
yeah,
only do it.
having
You would only do it if you could do it,
Yeah.
but the guy can't do it.
No.
Why?
Because that's part of my type is to worship the ground I walk on, and
What does that mean?
So you want like a simp?
yeah.
That you want a simp?
I don't want like a you're just an option. Like, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with being a simp, but unless it's like in a creepy way.
Wait, you mean
Like-
you want the guy to be a simp? Is it-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. No, this is fine. This is fine.
This is like the craziest take ever. Like, she wants a guy to like her. Oh my God.
But liking and simp culture is kind of different.
Yeah, it's way
A
different.
simp will like text you. Okay, sometimes a simp. Sometimes a simp.
Simp
I'm-
will
a simp-
text you.
No. I said text you all the time. Said, "Hey, mommy, are you awake? Good morning." Like that's what I think about a simp. I think about a
Yeah.
simp being like a weak kind of like.
She said she wants somebody that worships the ground she walks on.
You want the guy to get down on his hands and knees and like kiss your feet and shit.
Alex James Fulton at a Dollar General bowed down to me once, and I thought it was so funny. I wasn't into it at all. I wasn't like, yeah, this is what I want in a relationship, but I thought it was really funny. And I think if Alex James Fulton's capable of it, I think any man should be capable of it.
You want a guy to get down and bend on his hands and
I
knees and
think
pray to you.
not like serious,
my
but
God.
I think it should just be there. It should just be known. Like,
But why? Because you're like a woman.
not just because I'm like a woman. Like, yeah, bow down to me because I'm a woman. I don't know. I just feel like,
Yeah, what value are you bringing for him to do that?
I don't know, just existing. I don't know.
So just
I'm a
because
high-value
just
woman.
because you're a woman.
Not just because I'm a woman.
No,
just
because she's who she
'Cause
is.
she's
Don't even say
exists.
woman, just because
Okay.
it's a person.
Fair enough.
I'm
Fair
on
enough. Fair enough.
Instacloak, 'cause I'm a
Fair enough.
baby.
Okay, but explain to me.
I don't know. Why does anyone have any self-worth? Like,
No. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking about your original statement.
which one?
So,
The simp one.
no. The statement
sorry.
of you would do it if you could. The other person couldn't do it. That would mean that
What if?
isn't.
Okay. You go. You answer the question because I have a better kind of question. I think.
Maybe I'm not. Am I wording it wrong?
I just think it's kind of. I just think it's kind of.
Okay, you go ahead then. Go ahead.
Well, it's different. It's a different route. But
Okay.
what if a guy wanted you to get down and pray to him? What would you do that?
I mean, if it was like, I would. If it was like the right,
If it was the right environment.
yeah. Because
Huh.
I'm not gonna like do it like seriously. Like,
So
it'd be
you're talking
funny.
about more funny stuff.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just funny, pure shits and giggles. Not like, oh yeah, like I'm dommy mommy, like you gotta pray down to me, like on your knees now, like or you're gonna sleep on the couch.
You don't
Like
want
no,
that.
like it's just funny.
Okay.
okay.
No,
Okay. You didn't
you think
explain
I-
that the first time.
I just
That's
thought it
why
was
I-
obvious. I'm so sorry.
That's why. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
So wait. Okay, but I don't know if it's
That's
obvious
why I
or not.
brought up Alex because I just thought it was funny.
So if you had a guy, right, and you're talking about the interest stuff and what attract, like, fuck whatever. I hate because I start talking to this stuff and then I think about, Cole, you only talk about guys with girls. Like, why do you do that? Dude, come on, man. Fuck all you.
Yeah.
But respectfully, I'm talking about what I want to talk about. My podcast. But if you had a guy, right, and he legitimately did that, and he's like, oh my god, you're so beautiful. Oh my god, I love you so much. Would that be attractive to you, honestly, or no? Like, Yeah, paint it realistically.
Well, if is he on his knees like
He's like I need you in my life. Like holy shit, Piper, you are the number one choice in my life. Like I need you. I worship the ground you walk on, mommy. Please. Like what?
Okay,
if
then no.
You'd say no.
No.
Rats.
What?
I do that.
You do that?
Why do you guys think I'm fucking serious? Of course I don't do that, guys. Come on. You guys believed it.
Who is we? Like this?
I did.
You didn't believe it?
No.
Huh.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's so my type. Oh my god, wow. Like, yeah, so my
Okay.
goals.
Okay, but anyway, yeah. So,
I like this topic though.
I do. This is an interesting one.
I like staying in this realm. The dominant. Do you like having dominance over men? Yes or no?
No.
No, you don't.
I just think it's funny. Like, I don't know. I totally with like the little like, oh, like men are. Oh God, how do I say this without like?
Just say it. It doesn't matter.
Like, I like to feel like all like small and like dainty with like. I want a guy like. I want to be like intimidated by a guy. Like, no, stop. Like, it's not like I like want like a. I don't want a little femboy.
Okay.
That's okay. That's all you had to say.
Okay.
That makes sense. You don't want a femboy. Fair enough.
Dude, I've been talking to some of these girls, and the way that they talk. No, not you. That's what I'm saying. But
like on the podcast, or you've been talking to them outside of this?
Outside of the podcast.
Okay.
My podcast fame has brought women to me a little bit.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I'm just. No, I wish.
Well, you
I
just
wish
lost
it
them
did.
all by
yeah, I
saying
wish
that.
it did. It didn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. But they like to be like dominated, dude. And it's weird to me because I don't fuck with that. I do
What?
not fuck with dominating some shit.
This is.
I don't fuck with it.
You don't mess with what? Say it again?
Dominating a girl. I do not fuck with dominating a girl like heavily.
Dominate. Okay.
It's so weird.
Do you have a thought, Piper?
I'm like, do you want to be dominated?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is why some people may say you're a crier.
It's
I
kind of
don't want
adding
it,
up.
but I think dominated. I think about like slapping the girl and like.
No,
That's like not even like.
No, but girls are fucking into that, dude. You talk to them, they're in that shit, and it's weird to me.
Mhm.
And it's weird to me.
Girls are
I
into
am
that.
not slapping
girls
you.
into that.
It's odd as fuck.
I think that's like a little. I don't know. I feel like that's
A little
different than.
A little.
Slapping is a little extreme, I would say.
Yeah.
It's weird, bro. And I talk to them, and they say that they like. I'm like, oh my god, these fucking weirdos, guys. What do I do? What do I do, guys? Help me out.
How are you getting in this conversation? Like, oh, what are your kinks?
Yeah.
Slapping? Oh, that's weird. Bye.
Is it kink shaming? Should I not do that?
No, well, I wouldn't say it's kink shaming because you're just saying you're not into it. Are
you
you
think
saying
it's weird? I think.
Yeah.
That's
Are you saying slapping specifically?
Slapping
Or, like,
some bitch in the face
being
and calling her like a
dominant.
stupid bitch. And like,
Okay, well, most girls,
that's
I
so
wouldn't say like
different.
that.
It's a different
I would say
whole-
dominant in the context of like, okay, go back to what Kennedy said. She wants like a man who's gonna be like direct, and like say just like she said, oh, we're doing this or like whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that in that sense of dominant, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not saying like, oh, dominate me like freaking let's get in a ring and you can punch me in the face.
Yeah.
Like they're not saying it in that sense.
Okay, true.
You know what I'm saying? They're just saying they want somebody who is like
a leader to them.
yeah, they want to be led.
Yeah.
I see. I don't fuck with that. That's such a weakness to me.
And that is inherently where somebody may say the dude in the black is beta. Or
I
you're
don't
a
fuck
crier.
with that. Those girls who kind of say that, not shot, no Kennedy slander or anything, but like,
But Kennedy's not the only one to say that.
exactly that's what I'm saying.
Hannah said the same thing along those lines.
See, and like that kind of shows weakness to me because it's like you want to be like led. Like, why can't you like lead yourself? Basically,
That's like how we're biologically hardwired to be.
I think it's just like society, sure, whatever. But I just don't really fuck. Like, I'm much rather attracted to a woman who would not say that shit and is just on equal ground with me. You know what I mean? But like having to lead somebody, it's like get the fuck like lead yourself. Right?
But Cole, they're in a relationship.
We've talked about this. The quarterback and the follower.
There has to be a leader.
No, there can be two leaders.
I
What
think
do you
there
think?
should be a leader. I feel
Thank
like
you.
someone's got to drive. Someone's got to.
Be the passenger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but why can't
Thank
we
you,
switch
Piper.
off? Why
No.
can't we switch
Yeah,
off?
someone's got to be on top, someone's got to be a bottom, someone's got to be a passenger, someone's got to be the driver. Like, there's so many different, like...
But that can all switch.
It can't.
It can't?
Well, not that it can't. Either it can't once it's established.
What are you talking
I think it
about?
should be established, yeah. It's like
Once it's
set.
established, it doesn't. It doesn't. And typically, women are the ones that want to be led.
Okay, so this is just
Do you
my
agree, Piper? I mean, you're a girl, right? Like, well,
That's-
not right, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Hey.
That's what I like, personally.
So what if
yeah.
me and Piper were dating, right? As an
Yeah.
example. And I was like, her face that she just made, this fucking...
I didn't see your face.
Okay,
We're gonna have to run it back on the
Oh my
cameras.
God.
I was on us. It was on
Okay.
us. But if me and you were dating, right? And I was like, yo, no, I was like, I'm not gonna say dominate me. You said something about driving. I'm like, yo, you drive, like you take control. We're going where you want to go. I don't think that's weakness on a man's
It's not,
part.
but some women think that. Okay, here's an example, right? Sometimes I don't want to drive. Literally, this is literally an example from my life, right?
Uh-huh.
And my girlfriend will say, "Oh, like you're such a passenger bitch."
No, she will not.
Like not like we don't fight about it. Like she's obviously joking, but there's
Your
definitely
little
some
passenger princess.
yeah, passenger princess, or like it's like a real connotation. Like there's serious connotation behind that to an extent.
Okay, explain deeper.
What do you mean explain deeper? I just explained it to you.
So you're saying that she thinks of you less if you don't drive in that sense?
Not. I mean,
It's a
yeah.
joke.
I mean,
A
yeah.
joke?
She's
joke.
'Cause it
she's
is a joke.
joking. Like she says it as a joke, but you know that there's like some intent behind
So
it.
your girlfriend would not like you if you didn't want to drive and do things like
Not
that?
that she wouldn't like
She'd
me.
break up with
Yeah,
him
not
if
that she
he
wouldn't
didn't drive.
No, it's not that extreme, Cole.
Okay.
It's that she just. That's not something that attracts her, having to drive me around.
But you're fucking
Think about-
Matthew Spellman.
But
You're fucking Matthew Spellman.
but listen,
Why should you bow down to her just
I'm
'cause
not. I don't.
But like, why should you lead her?
Because that's how relationships work.
That's okay. That's how some relationships
That's
work.
how the majority of
Okay,
relationships
I'm
work.
special then. I'm
You are.
special.
There can be exceptions to the rule, but we're speaking in general.
Okay. Well. Okay. We're
Okay, but let's get her opinion.
okay. Okay. What opinion about what?
Everything.
Just about this whole
Okay,
conversation.
go,
This is a
Piper.
really great topic. I'm happy with this.
Yeah. We're both. We're all have things to say about this.
Personally, I consider myself to be a passenger princess, and that does not relate to like the fact that men are leaders, men should drive me around. Like I just don't really like driving. I like to be driven around, especially by my friends, and
Yeah.
I just like to not drive. But that doesn't really have to do anything with I'm in the power. Like I don't want the power, so I just don't want to drive. I want to put my feet up on the dash. I don't care if it will kill me. I just want to sit down. I want to.
Yeah, but okay, you took that very
But,
literal to the
yeah.
driving extent.
But I feel like there's just so many different like little things that so I feel like if a guy's like, okay, Dommy mommy, I want you to like okay, no.
Just
if a
say what it
guy
is.
if a guy's like, oh, I want you to do all these things, like I want you to plan out the dates, I want you to drive, I feel like a girl could see that like, oh, he doesn't want to plan out the dates. I feel like it could be taken as a lack of effort put towards the relationship, because if he's like, oh, like I want to do whatever you want to do, I want to like, you should pick out the dates, like you be the dominant person in the relationship, like you be the deciding factor, I feel like that can be taken as like like he doesn't care, like he doesn't like, he's not putting effort into it, even if that's like, oh, I just truly want like whatever she wants. I feel like that can be taken as like he doesn't care, like he just wants to put it on me as a responsibility.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense, and I see that. But I also see that I don't want to confuse it with like if I as a guy want a girl to make that first move, because it's in our culture. We can all agree guys do the majority of planning and asking out compared to girls. True or not true? True.
Yeah, very true.
Very true. Exactly. Very true. You're the fact checker here, Spellman.
Why am I the fact checker?
I'm making a joke because you're the only one. Like I ask, is it true? And you're like, yeah. Okay, therefore it's true. It's done.
Yeah,
But-
true.
Yeah, true. It's thank you.
Legit. Verified.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't think it's what I want. I'm fine with making some dates. I'm fine with driving. I'm fine with doing all that shit. But I will never date a girl who like calls me a bitch that I like don't want to like plan everything out. Like if a girl asks me, she's like, "Yo, let's go out. Let's go eat dinner." And then after, let's go to the beach. I'll be like, "Shit, But if I'm asking her that, because I feel like, why are you so fucking weak? You can't ask me. Like, ask me. I'm Cole fucking Brown. Ask me out, bitch. I'm Cole fucking Brown.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? It goes back into that Piper thing. How she wants to like, you know how they want people to like respect them and give them authority.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. Like, I'm not gonna go chase some fucking girl, because
that's what they don't want you to chase them though, Cole.
But
I
they
think
want
you're
you to set
thinking
everything
about
up.
it wrong.
Who, me or him?
Cole.
Okay, I need to think about it wrong. I just want to.
Your opinion's wrong.
I just want to be equal in this stuff, and I want a girl to be the leader, and I be the leader at the same time.
That is why they call you a beta.
Why? Because I don't want to dominate some woman.
You want to be dominated?
I didn't say that.
That is like
inherently what you're saying.
Yeah.
That is literally because you're saying, "Oh, I'm a beta because I don't want to be I don't want to lead. I don't want to dominate a woman." But you want to be led, and therefore you want the woman to dominate you.
I don't know, guys.
We know.
We
do know for you.
We do know.
I don't know if I want to be dominated, but I just want it to be equal.
You want equal, but you don't want to do anything.
No, I'm fine with doing it.
You're fine with doing it, but you don't want to do it.
No, I'm fine with doing it, and I do want to do it, but only to a point. If I'm the one who only does it, then it's like, just because you're a girl and I want to like smash does not mean that like I'm gonna like do all these things. You know what I mean?
Okay, but listen.
Did I go off on
No.
another vine that we weren't on or something?
Listen.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm sorry.
People.
See, he wants to be told. He wants to be told what to do.
Yeah.
He likes it.
He does.
He likes it.
You like being told what to do.
Don't.
You do.
No, I don't, dude. I don't like doing. I like to be, in a sense, yes.
But that.
But what? Take a breath.
Take a breath. What I'm saying is that it's in our hardwiring as people. One of us, somebody has to be a leader. Somebody has to be a follower. There's no playing field where a relationship can be 100% equal across the board.
No, okay, of course it's gonna lean some way, but it doesn't mean extremes.
We're not saying extremes.
So we're saying that like 60 or like 55% of the time I make the plans and tell her, and then 45% she does it, and it's okay with driving. I want a strong woman is basically all I'm saying. I just want a strong woman.
A dommy mommy.
I want a woman who can dominate me and I can dominate both.
It doesn't work
I
that
thought
way.
you didn't want to dominate a
Yeah.
woman.
I no, guys. I have never said I don't want it. I said I just want it a little bit.
Listen, okay, but typically, there's exceptions to the rule, just like there is with everything.
Yes.
Where I'm speaking in generality. Is that the right word?
Some
General
terms.
General terms, yeah. Typically, a girl of higher status
Yes.
they don't a lot of them, I'm trying to figure out how to like word this. A lot of them don't want to date to be with someone that they have to
Work with.
lead.
Oh, well, how do you define leading? You mean like asking them out?
Just like what we're talking about. Just like, why do you think? Okay, how many girls have we had on this podcast?
It's probably 6, 7 maybe.
Yeah, 7. Okay, 7. Just about all 7 of them, the strong majority have said that they want to be led.
And I don't want them.
But I'm saying that.
The majority, okay, sure, but we're not talking about majority. We're talking about Cole Brown's fucking stance.
Okay, so you're an exception to the rule.
Yeah. I want a girl. If a girl got
What's
on
that
here,
noise?
she made a baby noise.
I said, wow.
Oh.
Sorry. If a girl got on here and said that like if a girl, okay, honestly, okay, I'm just gonna say, if a girl's like, I like to like tell my guys what to do, and like I want to tell them to show up and they'll be there, I'd be more into that than I would
Pop out a whole engagement ring, get on one knee.
No, because it shows fucking power, and then I can stand up to that fucking girl, and I can be like, no,
You can't though, because she's in the power position.
I can do whatever I want.
You can't.
I can tell that bitch fuck off. Is that fucked up to say?
No.
If she's like, yo,
Wait.
go out, I'm gonna say like, no.
This is why women don't want to be in power positions because of this.
Thank you.
Cause
You,
of
Piper.
what?
Thank you.
Because of what? They're scared to stand up.
Cole.
Fear of rejection mostly, and just people like you.
Because
But fear of rejection. No, the thing is, it's so strong. If she can get rejected by me, do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
If a girl has enough power within herself to me get or reject her, and she's still like, will live how she lives. Instead of
most
being
girls
all
will though, because most girls will just be able to get approached by the next guy.
Yes, of course. But
I think a girl's gonna be completely crushed over.
No,
you
that's not what I'm
She
saying.
wouldn't.
I don't
She
mean to
wouldn't.
say that.
She wouldn't be crushed. She wouldn't be crushed at all.
Life's over.
No, but if a girl liked me and she asked me out, and I
Yeah.
said no to her,
Yeah.
it's not going to be that big of a deal to her, right?
No.
And then I think that's cool. That's good. I'm in support of that.
Cole, that's
Life.
there's
We're off on a little branch that we didn't need to get on.
because
we're on
this,
the rejection.
but she's right though. What she said, women don't want to be in power positions just because of this situation.
But it's the same deal with men. Men don't want to be in power positions to get rejected. Why do you think there's so many plebs out there?
Cole, but the difference is that women want you to approach them. They don't want to be the ones approaching.
I know, and I'm fine with approaching. But when it's the expectation in a relationship that I have to do everything, why the fuck would I want to go with a girl where I'm gonna do everything? Why the fuck would I want to be with her?
You're not gonna define do everything.
Where I'm gonna ask her out, where I'm gonna plan everything, where I'm gonna take her out to eat, where I'm gonna pay for everything, where I'm gonna have to drive everywhere. Because if she doesn't, she's gonna call me a little bitch. Fuck that.
I still don't drive everywhere.
Good. Respect. If you drove everywhere, I'd be like, dude, make that woman do fucking stuff, man. She should not be treated. This is about equality. This is about equality. If women and people want equality, it's got to be equal.
But it can't be equal across the board 100%.
Okay, well, not 100%, but
It can't.
well, it depends on what
because-
situation we're talking about. In this situation, I feel like it can be equal. With when
well,
men
maybe
and
he doesn't want it to be equal.
You like dominating.
Huh?
You like dominating.
No, I wouldn't say that.
All right. Well, I think you're leaning towards the dommy side.
There's either dommy or there's mommy.
No, there's okay. Maybe there is.
I would say that I'm okay. Fair enough then.
Fair enough then.
Then I agree to disagree.
What?
I don't know. It just sounded
You're
good.
just saying shit now.
Yeah. Okay.
I really like talking about that though, because like it's something that's I feel like kind of unique about me is that I do maybe want to get dominated more than the other guy.
No way. No way.
It's not like all the time. I'm not talking about 24/7, guys.
But only 50% of the time.
But like I want it to be equal. She can be a top. I can be a top, and not just talking about sex. I'm talking about other aspects of life. You know what I mean? I want a girl who can take control and isn't afraid of taking control. You know what I mean?
Of you.
Of,
Which is inherently
life.
Which is
of life,
inherently
not
why
just
you
of
give
me.
the crier vibe. And our comments
just
say
a
that
vibe.
you're beta.
All right, guys, I'm beta then. Call me beta. I'm proud of it. I think it's the
He
true.
probably likes it.
I think it's the
I'm not
I
not judging
don't.
you. I'm just explaining that
why
that's why.
But the thing is, you're talking about the majority here. Cole Brown and Matthew Spellman are not the majority. Okay, we are the elite. I'm just kidding, guys.
Okay. That was
Sorry,
good.
I'm just kidding. We are the elite, though. We do have a podcast.
We do have a podcast.
Therefore, we're better than. No, I'm just kidding. Do you guys have any? How do I even go from this? I was gonna ask. Do you guys have any fears? If so, like what? But like I just need to just sum everything up that we just said. Good talk.
Good talk.
Good talk. That's it.
What? Yeah. How do you feel about this talk, Piper?
I feel like I've learned some things about Cole.
What, positive or negative?
I don't know.
Undecided still?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need some time to
She
think
needs
on
to
it.
go home
She's
do
gonna-
the cliff notes.
She's gonna she's gonna text me and
I'm
she's
just
like,
gonna block you after
Yeah.
this.
Well, which would mean it's negative.
which would
Says
mean
who?
Okay, whatever. Okay, Piper, I got a really good question for you. So Piper, I'm not gonna expose you too much or say anything bad. That's fucked up. But she tells me sometimes about the guys that go into her DM. And
Her DM?
her DMs, her Instagram DMs, or WhatsApp DMs, or Kick.
You're on WhatsApp and Kick? Okay.
I'm fucking with. But she gets these guys who hit her up and like are like have like these weird fetishes, you know. And she tells me about it sometimes. It's really odd. But they offer to pay her, and she's 18 now, so she can make that choice. Respect to her. Whatever you want. Thumbs it up.
Okay.
If a guy had a fart fetish, what would you do about that, Piper?
He'd be shit out of luck.
You know, Spelman, how about you? If a girl wanted you to...
Nah.
I agree.
I feel like your answer would have varied depending on what I said.
No, but not if I would not. I would not Dutch
Wants to be
oven.
dominated and farted on.
That's so terrible. Oh. All right, no, that I wouldn't do that. All right, what else we got, guys? We're almost about to wrap up. Piper, you never explained to me your childhood life. Like, tell me a little bit about your childhood.
It was simple, easy. I don't know. Nothing traumatic happened. I was an only child, so I just got a lot of attention and love.
Oh, that's good. Spelman, were you an only child?
No.
Tell me a little bit about your experience with Big Mike. Shout out to him. He's probably watching the pod.
I doubt he's watching the podcast.
He hasn't watched.
I don't know. Should we have him on the podcast?
Sure. I think that would open an entire new Tillamook scene, which would be cool.
It would. It would open a scene. That's for sure.
But that's good, man. We're scene makers. Elite.
Yep. Elite. Anyway, my childhood was good. I'm the oldest, so I didn't have to like deal with any of that like middle child stuff that everybody talks about. You know, like people talk about like being the middle
I knew
child.
that. Why'd I ask if you were the only child? I know Avery. I don't know why I asked that question.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, childhood is good. Pretty solid parents. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them, for real. Shout out to them. They're gonna. Did you ever give your dad the sticker?
No, you never gave it to me.
Oh well. Once we leave tonight, I'll give it to you. I still have it. Bet. Piper, can you cook well at all or no? I'm not asking this because she's a woman. I'm just asking it because it's a good question.
Just ask the question.
Sorry.
No, I just don't really like. I don't know. I don't really eat, so I don't really.
What do you mean?
Cook.
What do you mean you don't?
I just don't like. If I was like, okay, I am hungry. Like I'm gonna cook something up. Like I'm not gonna be like that hungry enough to cook something up. Like I'm just gonna like if I'm hungry, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna grab a little bag of chips because it's like I'm not gonna eat that much. So it's like
just gonna snack.
So I'm like, okay, I'm like gonna make this whole and cooking is dishes, and I hate doing dishes. I will not. Literally, just no.
Well, I like doing dishes. I don't like cooking. You know, maybe I'm just like more and more like a 1930s housewife the more I talk.
Consider switching genders, so then everyone will agree with you more.
What? She's saying that she's being sexist to women now. Because she says that whatever, we're not going down that road.
She says a what?
No, we're not going down that road. So cheating on your girlfriend. All right, Spelman, you have a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
If she cheated on you, right? Would there be any way to forgive her, or is there
Nope.
Why?
Gone.
Gone?
Gone.
What if she's like, I was really intoxicated?
Nope.
Okay.
Straight up.
Piper, how about you? If a guy you're dating him for a few
Do you want me to
years-
explain or no?
Sure.
Okay, just because. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But,
No, you're good.
just because like, that trust gone. Like no way, bro. And like. It's just I can't get over it. I can't get past the thought of it. No way, bro. It's just not it.
Piper, how about you? If a guy cheated on you, would you ever go back to him or?
I think it would kind of also like depend on like what kind of cheating.
Yeah.
But like, I would not go back. But I'm like, oh, I wouldn't go back to this like super toxic person. But then I like kind of go back. But I don't know. I don't think for cheating.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like pretty intense cheating, like kind of you're doing more of the intense stuff. I don't know. Personally, I don't think I could forgive it. I don't think I could. I think some people, they go on breaks with their girlfriends or boyfriends and then they like smash somebody else and they're like, no, but like we weren't dating though. It's like, all right, do whatever you want to do, but I definitely would not do that. But maybe if I was in a toxic relationship and I was just like looking to smash everybody, like I could do that. But right now in my life, no. I'm just waiting to be dominated.
We know.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Fanboy.
I'm just kidding. Next podcast, I'm gonna wear a skirt.
Perfect. So fitting.
Nice. Who are we gonna have?
Well, actually, on Thursday it's Hunter and Keegan. Are you cold?
No.
She's.
I'm. It's cold, bro. For real.
Maybe if you put some pants on, dude.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Sorry, I
What?
like it.
Huh?
I said I like it. I happen to see your pants off.
You are such a weirdo, bruh. You freaking want to be dominated. You're freaking flirting with me.
I didn't say that I want to be dominated.
You're a femboy.
God. Femboy.
Is he a femboy?
Am I, Piper?
Yeah.
No, I'm not,
You're acting
guys.
like
No,
it.
I'm not.
You are acting like one.
Sorry. Shut up, dude. No, I'm not.
That's more like it.
Go make me a sandwich.
No. I like how this is the first interaction Piper and I have ever had, and we're sitting here calling you a femboy.
I love
Yeah.
it, guys.
Yep.
He likes it because he
He
likes.
does. He's into
we're
it.
dominating him. We're
Yeah.
degrading him. He loves it.
Yeah.
I don't like it, guys. You're gonna hurt my
Little
feelings.
passenger princess.
Yeah. He's covering his crotch with the keyboard.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. He likes it a little too much.
That's
It's getting creepy.
What?
Huh? What?
Hyper's odd, bro.
Okay, what? Next
Okay,
topic.
passenger
Next
princess.
topic.
Okay.
Princess.
That's all I have, guys. The last one that I do want to talk about though is the last recent illegal activity. Don't be too insane. If it's really, really bad, don't tell us. But like, have you ever stolen anything recent, or are you a bad person, Piper?
That's quite extreme. Have you stolen anything, or are you a bad person?
Like, are you a bad person and stealing anything?
Literally yesterday, I kind of contemplated like stealing something just because it's so easy. Like I feel like I have these like klepto like thoughts, but I've never acted on them ever. But I just feel like it's so easy to just steal something so small. But then I just have such a guilty conscience. Like I would never be able to get over it ever.
Huh.
But it'd just be so easy to just slip a little thing up your sleeve and like just walk out. Like it'd be so easy, but I would just not be able to get over it ever.
How about you, Spell? When you steal anything? Never.
My bad. No, I haven't.
When I was in 8th grade, me and my friends used to go to this place called Rocket Fizz, and my friends started stealing shit from there. And
What kind of place was it?
Candy shop.
Oh.
So like they wouldn't steal massive stuff, but like $10, $15 worth of whatever. It's true.
Wow.
That's not that bad. People
Okay.
do. Where we used to live, kids would steal bottles of alcohol. Like this is just like normal kind of like city, more city kind of vibe. Just steal bottles of alcohol. And I was talking to one sub at the high school today. He said back in Philly, they'd have 10 kids run into a liquor store at a time, get as much alcohol as they could, and just dip, just run out.
Wow.
It was called like parading or something, or like storming, or like whatever they did in the Trojan.
The Trojan horse.
The Trojan horse, like I think it's called like a Trojan horse or something cool. It had like a cool name to it.
We're about to Trojan horse this liquor store. Like
Yeah,
that kind of
I
thing?
think they'd walk in and like distract the guy,
Yeah.
or like a girl would go in, like someone who like wasn't with them, and just yoink all that shit and then dip. But of course they'd get caught, but like they would be running, so it's like they had to have masks on and shit. I don't know. Maybe we should do it. I'm just kidding.
No, we shouldn't.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, dude. All right. Anyways, I think that's it.
You have any questions for us?
Piper Joe Cat, famous Instagram model. She is famous on Instagram. 110,000 followers.
That is not true.
110,000.
That's not true.
How many?
How
120.
many you got?
It's not even like. It's like
It's like 2.
yeah. It's like
It's
it
like
goes
2,000.
down by the day.
Wait, didn't you tell me she bought Instagram followers?
I did not buy Instagram followers.
You have no likes on your thing.
Yeah, they're all like all my followers are dead. Like all my story views, I get like 100 views, but I have 11K. But they're all like I don't know what happened, but I remember them like gradually building up.
How much did they cost you?
I didn't buy them. They just they followed me and then they dipped. Like I don't know.
Maybe there's websites where you can buy it for somebody else, or like.
But it was like gradual. It was over like a few months. Like I built up my account.
Do you
Like
post?
I used to all the time, but now I don't. But
I
I
told
used to have 18,000, but then I was like, I'm 13 years old and I am deleting all my posts.
Yeah,
Like, bye,
because she
guys.
was young and she was like attracting weird guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was not it. So.
But now she's 18. I tell her, you know, because she knows how it works. I'm not talking about like selling herself. I'm like, she knows how social media works. Therefore, she could like use her natural ability to do it, like her natural brain power to be successful.
Yeah.
Just similar to the podcast.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I don't like this. I'm thinking about deleting my personal Instagram. Like I really am.
You know, I was throwing it around the other day too. Throwing that idea around.
Cause like, what are we gonna do? Just be adults and have Instagram? Like when I hear all these Facebook moms and their stuff like that, I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that shit. I want to be out of that. I don't. If I have Facebook, dude, I'd rather be a fucking piddler in a shack on the mountain than use Facebook. You know what I mean? Piper, this is your time.
Real.
Piper, the camera's gonna be on you, and you're gonna say the names of your Instagrams and stuff. They're gonna pop up on screen right now. So plug the name of your Instagram if you want. If you don't want to, they won't appear. Do you want to plug your Instagram or no?
Sure. I've got a couple.
Okay, plug them.
All right. So my school account for my boring school stuff is going to be Piper Joe Cat. And my famous Instagram with some random stuff is Piper_meme. And then my spam, which I post on every single day, is going to be Piper_meme.
There it is. Hey, that was a wrap. Piper, really thank you for coming out.
Yep. Thanks.
Thanks for coming out. That was an awesome conversation.
Thanks
I feel like
for having me.
I feel like we got some really good talking points down, and that was it. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys stayed. Shout out to y'all. And that's it. Later, guys.
Peace.